Best thing you can do, best piece of advice of all time. You're going to go through a lot of bullshit with nutritional stuff because there's so much information out there. But the absolute best thing that you could do is just track your food. Even if it was for 3 months, it benefits people for a lifetime. Thank you. Yeah. Everybody just settle down. Well, first things first, thank you, everyone. We have like 2,000 subscribers to our
peaked pretty quick
YouTube channel. It built up really fast, and I know it's because we've been doing a ton of like short stuff, but I'm very appreciative, so thank you so much. And for all the people that come out and show us support, it's pretty cool. I even say that it's, for me, it's overwhelming. It's a little overwhelming for me.
Why?
It's overwhelming because, like, even though you get good support, it's still like you're like, shit, I gotta
step up the game.
Yeah, I gotta step up my game. I gotta stop being such an idiot. But I know I'm not. So seriously, thank you all. I really appreciate that. We appreciate it. We've been extremely busy, which is why podcasts have been so sparing. But we have the next, I think we have like 4 or 5 people now that are going to be doing the podcast because I wanted real clients. I wanted clients, people who we actually trained. And I know how shitty of a model that is, that you'd have to wait to do that. But I said, hey, screw it. So we have the next like 4 or 5 people who have really, really come together on their nutrition, really come together with their trainings, really come together. And then I will have in the next couple of months too, my online clients that'll be coming on as well.
That's cool.
And we can either do that remote or in person. 2 of them are in Connecticut, so which is going to be fun too. So they're going into phase 2 of the best and basics things that we have, and so it's going to be a lot of fun. Those of you who don't know Katie McLean, she's my business partner and our semi-private coordinator here.
Sure am.
Our company is in Connecticut, but we are everywhere, and that's kind of why we wanted to do this, because we are, kind of going into the busy season again. Summer's easy. Everybody just cuts out and runs in the summer.
It's true.
We don't see a lot of you guys on in the summer, and then it gets ramped up again in September. Everybody starts kind of coming in
back to school. Teachers.
Yeah, we even saw that with the semi-privates. That we do here. I mean, you saw it. It's like very spotty. Our cancellation policy. We have a cancellation policy, and it's like, everybody's going like, just charge me, because they're all on boats and drinking White Claws and and having fun, and they don't want to come in and sweat and push themselves. I totally get that. But and then I've also been really busy. That dad life is a lot of fun, but I'm trying to spend a lot more time with the little guy. With kind of hanging out to him. He's turn 1. I don't know if I had said that before, but he's 15 months old, and he is just flying around.
Said my name for the first time.
Yeah. He
almost
said Katie.
Cried.
Yeah. He was just like right to Katie, waved her, and then like went to her. It was so adorable. Dude, I thought he was gonna get you. He didn't get you, but I thought that he was gonna get you. I'm like, oh, dude, I get
excited. Not now.
Yeah. So that was super fun. That was fun to see, kind of seeing how he's going to grow and what he's doing. But I've been really focused on that. I'm coming off of a huge strength block, and kind of like I'm in this thing where it's like, what do I do? Like now, what do I do?
What do you want to do?
I really want to get back into hiking a little bit more.
Yep.
I want to get into climbing a little bit more.
Like outside more?
Yeah.
For the climbing?
Yeah, indoor or outdoor with climbing. It was just more of a therapeutic thing for me.
Yeah.
So here's a fun bit. When you're going into any sort of desired block that you're going into, whether that be like you want to put on more muscle, you want to focus on getting strong, you're doing more like a powerlifting block, or you don't always have to train like a power lifter to get stronger, but some people do. I do. Because I like to find out what some of my 1 rep maxes are. But things get put on hold when you're trying to do that because you need to recover.
Sure.
It's like the recover is fucking brutal. You know, you're just like,
you fry out your nervous system.
Yeah, your nervous system is just totally fried. And then it's like, okay, cool, I'm gonna go climb a mountain, climb on the side. It's like, all right, good luck.
Right.
Or, when you're doing sprint work, now granted, you're not getting crazy amounts of, muscular damage, with that, but you still need to recover. And it's like, okay, I'm going to go hike,
right.
7 miles with a pack and a 1-year-old, it's like, or like I said, you're going to climb. It's like, good luck, man. It's like, you need to recover. So I'm out of that power block, and it was cool because it gave me two perspectives. One, I'm coming out of that power block and I'm going, all right, like I got really strong. I mean, like my current max for my deadlift was 465. And then I just yanked that thing up and did it effortlessly for like an RP of like maybe even 7, like really, really effortlessly.
Nice.
So it felt really, really good. And to be like, okay, now I am definitely stronger than I was before, but I started gaining, a little bit more weight because I wanted to gain more weight.
Sure.
And when you are trying to perform well and you're going to be like your optimal self, you're not going to be super lean. You're just not. And anybody with, half a brain knows that. It's like if you want to be super lean, you're going to be just super lean. Like that's fine. Are you going to be at your peak strength by definition? No, you can't. It's just not going to happen.
You need to feel.
Yeah. But people will be like, oh, I was lean and strong. It's like, yeah, that's not what I'm saying.
Right.
Right,
yeah.
We're saying optimal. So I've been doing that. But coming off of it, it made me appreciate all those things more because I've been really just kind of been like the in the gym grind, where you're just like, I'm in the gym. All the things I'm doing, my goals are in the gym. Deadlift in the gym, squat in the gym, bench in the gym. Before it was like climbing, and I had hiking goals, and I had lifting goals, and I had all of those things that weren't just those 3 lifts. So coming out of those, I feel much stronger foundationally with those 3 lifts, but I'm going to move into, I think, back into, just kind of being healthy and, and strong
Feeling
again.
Good.
Yeah.
Balance.
And I still feel good.
Sure.
But it's a matter of like, I feel good within the confines of those 3 lifts.
Yeah.
I'm like, I feel pretty comfortable now. So what are you doing?
Going a little bit more into that strength program. I need to peak my last year's deadlift PR, which was 225. I do that every year for my birthday. Last year, yeah. So it's feeling good. Been doing back offs. You and I have been talking about that.
Yeah.
That's been helping with all 3 lifts, of course, go up. So that's been feeling good. Squat's been feeling better.
Using those back offs has helped you. Yeah.
A lot. Bench, just bracing, breathing better helps with that too. And then I've been doing more of the cardio days on the bike that everybody loves so much.
Yeah, Katie fucking hates it. Yeah,
I hate it. Yeah.
But it's so good.
I like how I feel after.
Yeah, during.
I want to die.
Yeah, the Aerodyne bikes. We have the Echo bike and we have the Aerodyne. It is just brutal if you're really pushing yourself in that capacity.
But that's the goal, right?
That's the point.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I see you in there. I saw you in there the other day.
Yeah, I know.
And Katie is very pale. So she was very red, very, very red.
Very
I was like,
you have an allergic reaction? No. I'm just
doing cardio.
Just doing cardio.
I'm doing intensity work. It is god awful. No, it does. It sucks.
Yeah, but it even helps with like my runs. I just go to like clear my mind stuff. Obviously, it transfers into like the training floor too. So
yeah,
it's like more of like a well balanced training.
Well, you want to expose the things that you might not be doing. And Amy, one of the coaches that we have here too, she had asked me a while ago, like, man, you must really love that bike. And it's quite the opposite.
Yeah.
After a while, when you're as old and, been around the block like I have, you just start accepting things. It's like, I have no feelings about the bike, good or bad. I just get on it and just do it. I look at it like tying my shoes or brushing my teeth.
It also helps when the max number goes up too.
Yeah.
So, you have those goals and you're reaching those goals. It's not like you're just lollygagging.
Yeah. But some people go on and they like make it this huge mountain. It's like, just get on and just do it. Just, who cares? Just get on the damn thing.
We're going to tell you to do it anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Just, well, I mean, some of the people, it's like, do it. You know what I like about the bike? there's nowhere you can hide. You can't hide from it. Mm-hmm. It's like if you're going off of watts or if you're going off of those things, it's like you can't hide from it. There's no way. Mm-hmm. It's just like you got to do the work, period. And we had talked about some intensity, in capacity work. And intensity means like your output, what you can max put out, you want that number to go up. Mm-hmm. Katie's working on trying to get that intensity on the bike. Me, my intensity was already very, very high, but I had no capacity. I couldn't do it more than 1 or 2 times without being completely gassed and worthless.
And your face looks like me now.
Yeah, then it looks like, then I'm pale and throwing up. So now I'm able to do, quite a bit, 12 to 15, 12 rounds is what I'm doing now, and 10 and 50. So it's 10 seconds of work, 50 seconds off on the bike. It's like everybody, it's a great way to work on that intensity, that sprint work. So that's what we've really been focusing on, actually, the past, since not the last podcast, but what we've really been focusing on with clients.
Tweaking it, really.
Yeah, and each other, which was like putting our best foot forward with what we meant by, we're the best in basics. Like we wanted, to put out so a day one client can come in and go, oh, okay, hey, cool. This is what I'm going to progress in. I'm going to make sure that I'm getting a lot of these, the push, the pull, lunge, squat.
And understanding what that means,
too. Carrying, know what it means. Mm-hmm. What some of the sweat days that we have 2 different days. We have some slow, steady state stuff, which is a little bit easier. It's an easier entry level for most people. And then some form of sweat. This is what's interesting too. And I'm not gonna shit on everyone, but our sweat 2 day, which is the day of cardio that we do, with the high intensity one, that looks like a lot of like CrossFit type stuff. Their actual workouts, like their workouts are our cardio days, because we want you to be stronger, or the F45 stuff, right? You see them going through moderate to high intensity stuff, pushing through that, and that's about it. It's like that's their strength training. Right. So their strength training is our essentially cardio day. Because what I found...
It's wild to put that into perspective.
Yeah. When you did that, I had said that to a coach recently, and she was like, oh, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I'm like, yeah, like, you're not putting any overload principles on any of these lifts. You can't actually get, by definition, stronger because you're not using those basic principles. You're just going...
And there's also no way to really gauge it either.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're doing something new each time. So... essentially they're doing mid to, high intensity work for strength training. And it's like, okay, cool. That's fine. But that's just not,
you're just moving.
Yeah. You're just moving. And like I said, I'm not, I am kind of shitting on it, but I'm not like being like, all right, your way's terrible and it's keeping people fat and stupid or whatever. I'm not doing that. But what I'm saying is, what I'm saying is that, there is a method that people go out and they just want to have fun. And I totally get that, and we want people to have fun too, but while still being able to completely crush it.
Yeah.
And speaking of that, we had talked about doing a field day today. We just talked about it today.
Like an hour ago.
Yeah, like literally an hour ago. So like having a day where you're going to, we have all of our clients, they can bring, family or whatever, as people to cheer them on. We'll run them through, some sort of hinge motion, most likely a deadlift. Mm-hmm. Then doing 2 laps around our facility. It's huge. So doing 2 laps, that doesn't help when I said it's huge, and then you guys got to go do 2 laps. So 2 laps and then some sort of pull motion, maybe like a pull-up or a modified, TRX pull-up. Some number, and then 2 laps, and then lunges, and then 2 laps, and then some sort of push-up area, then 2 laps, and then some sort of squat variation, most likely a goblet squat with whatever sort of percentage for your body weight, then 2 laps, and then heavy carries, and then 2 laps, and then you're done. So that's a hell of a day. That's a hell of a day. That sucks. We really sold it.
Yeah.
But I love that shit. Like that stuff is fun. So we haven't done one of those. We do a lot of, the holiday trainings, which are fun as fuck.
Yeah.
But, we definitely hit those up. But yeah, we have been very busy with like trying to tweak things and figure out things. And it has been fucking hard. It's been so hard.
It's been wild.
It has been very difficult.
To think that we've only really, like, if you're putting it in like a class perspective, that we've only launched these classes or these semi-private trainings like 2.5 years ago.
Yeah.
And see how much we've grown, how much our clientele has grown. Just in that alone is cool.
Yeah, it is cool to see like where it was and then how it like evolves each time.
Mm-hmm.
And we're close. I think we're really, really close, to where we want to be. And because the people are getting results.
Mm-hmm.
Like we have this couple that comes in. Actually, we have multiple couples, but we have this specific, couple who's coming in.
You
know who you are. They're just getting stronger and feeling better,
Mm-hmm.
and by definition getting stronger.
Mm-hmm.
Like numbers going up.
Yep.
And losing weight, tracking their food, all the things that we tell people to do, they're actually doing. And it's like, you wouldn't say that, you do those things, you see results.
Well, it's cool because like they're speaking our language.
Yeah, that's what's nice too.
Yeah.
Some of you are going to be watching this and be like, what the hell are some of them talking about?
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, we have kind of an international language, within our company. And it was like, it just kind of went off the basis of how we train the majority of clients. That's not to say that like some people have to train differently, for different goals.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most time, the most part, we have this international language that everybody kind of speaks, and they see results off of it, which is really, really nice. And the only thing that I think, so when we had talked about what it was like to be the best in basics, it was like, if you have all of those movements, that you can go through, there's plenty of movements,
Mm-hmm.
but if you have all of those movements, so if you're like push, pull, carry, lunge, squat, and hinge, like if you have all of those movements, right, that you can go through, and you're somebody who just really wants to focus on being as strong as possible and living life.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, that's a pretty good gig. But then on top of that, the way that we teach it is, it's like, of course, there's different variations that you're going to do, but now you have different goals, which you can pick out more of those.
Right.
So if you wanted to get your deadlift better, you can pick out something.
So it's always evolving.
It's always evolving for you.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as with like cardio stuff, we just kind of like erased all of the kind of the fitness foolery, like
the boot camp.
Yeah, the fitness foolery stuff with like you doing stuff, and it's like, okay, let's focus on effort and just easy testing, which is super helpful. That was, it just kept things in a better perspective as far as that. And when you see all the things that you can do, with better cardiovascular, better cardiorespiratory work, like the chances are that you're just out of shape if that shit sucks. Mm-hmm. Like that was a huge wake up call to me. It's like, I thought I was in pretty good shape. It's like, okay, start testing yourself on the basic tests.
Right.
And then I did that, and it's like, you're all right.
I'm gonna sit down.
yeah. I'm out of breath. Yeah, it's hard. Yeah. And then seeing you do that, like, I know you jog, and I know you're obviously in really good shape. But
you and I are opposites, so like capacity is no issue for me.
Yeah, we're literally the opposites.
So intensity is like, that's why like I'll get stuck in the hole for squats sometimes, and it's also been for me like improving the form first, obviously, so that it just feels better all in all. So that's why like the back offs help me. But that intensity, getting up there and just like, really setting a different goal for me each week when I hit, those 3 main lifts, it just really is the icing on the cake. Yeah, and number go up. Yeah. So it's like, okay, we want to have that number go up. It's nice. And, we've been working with so many great coaches over the past like 3-4 years. It's been so helpful to kind of evolve our program. And it's been so helpful. And, it's weird because I used to be of the mindset where it's like,
your competition. It's like, It's like, dude, once
been very supportive.
Oh man, once you back off, like, dude, get off your high horse. You're not that fucking good. You know, you need to just go. I can pick and choose what we want, and we've implemented them, and it's been really helpful, super helpful. But going off of those, and then on top of that, here's the thing with nutrition. So like, this is why we say we're the best in basics with nutrition too. I don't want any sort of fad diet. I've said this before, and I even have a clip of me saying this. I have helped 0 people. Nobody has been successful on a fad diet as far as with like the types of stuff that I'm seeing.
We've actually gotten people out of their fad diets.
Yeah.
They're like, I'm plateauing. Yes. I'm not doing any, like I'm not losing or gaining weight.
Yeah. Or getting stronger.
Right.
Or getting stronger.
That too.
I've had people use things as tools. I've had people use like high-low days, which you're having more carbohydrates during the days where you're actually like really active, and then a little lower. I've had people use intermittent fasting, but I've had them use intermittent fasting because towards the end of the night, they overeat. And if they track their calories, it would be just that they were in a caloric deficit. Sure. But I've had them use it as a tool, and that's been helpful. But we're just really big on just track your damn food.
Yeah.
Like if you just track your food, you don't have any, you at least know, what's going on. So as far as with, being that, as it may, as far as with nutrition, training, cardiovascular work, it's like, keep it super basic. It doesn't mean it has to be boring. That shit's hard.
Yeah.
Like that, and then you can build more complexity as the day, as you gain an experience. And obviously we have those clients that are very, very strong, and we have to do certain things very differently than we normally would. But their foundations have been built.
Right.
And that's what's been really nice. And with rest recovery stuff, you and I have talked about this. It's like, you don't get to choose. There's no amount of freaking supplement that you're going to take that's going to be like the thing that was the reason why you weren't recovering. The majority of you, of us, that we're just not getting enough sleep. It's like just as simple as that. It's like if you get a little bit more sleep, you're going to feel a little bit better,
Yeah. And we even say like, just like, oh my gosh, like I don't know how I'm going to start doing that. It's like, just try to lay down, turn screens off half hour early every night.
Yeah.
So that's like
earlier than you were before. Yeah.
And then start there. And then, increase it to an hour depending on how much sleep you were or not getting.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the screen ones is obviously the biggest issue now, or at least that we face right now. But it seems to be something that could be an easy fix, just to being like, okay, cool, I'm not looking at my phone.
Right.
Or,
and then you realize like, oh, wow, I've been doing this for so long. Like, I've been like looking at.
It's been a habit.
Yeah.
If you look at too, like how much time you actually spend like watching TV or anything. And by the way, it's like, I'm not immune to that. We're all guilty of it. But those are the things that you can improve on that would help your sleep. That would actually help your sleep,
right.
So, when you get that, kind of in your head, you then can go, all right, cool. I can actually change that. That was probably the most helpful thing, for a lot of the clients that we have, is like focusing on those basics. Those big 3, I've talked about it, in the past, but if your training is good, you're training, here's how I do it. 3 days a week, here's how our program works.
Yeah.
3 days a week should be the minimum, but still very good. If you're coming in 3 days a week for an hour, or you're training, strength training on your own, 3 days a week for an hour each time, that's great. That should be the standard. That should be like brushing your teeth. That should be like that. That's great. Then I like to add in cardiovascular work, in there. So now you'd have like a 3-to-1. 3 days a week you're strength training, 1 day a week you're doing some sort of cardiovascular work. Then if you can progress to that, you would do, 3 days a week of strength training, 2 days a week of cardiovascular work. That's probably the best thing that you can do for a longevity period. And then of course you have certain specific strength goals and gains that you want to make. Now, some of you would laugh at 3 days a week of strength training, but some of you aren't, you're kind of going in the gym and just kicking stuff around, or you're not training, as optimally as you can. But then, of course, you have the 4 days a week of strength training, 2 days a week of cardiovascular work, which is what I'm doing, and has been super helpful for my strength gains. So you have this like level that you can go up with that. As far as with cardiovascular work, there's a couple things that you can do, but you got to find something that's going to work really well for you. Katie's working on something, to keep her more intense. She wants to get, build that intensity so it translates over to strength. And I need to build up my capacity because I burn out quick.
You'll pass out.
Yeah, I'll burn out super quick. And as far as with, like we were saying before, sleep information, it's like just make sure you're getting adequate rest because you're only as good as what you can recover from. And that shit gets annoying if you're constantly lagging behind. It's like you might not be getting enough rest, which is something that you need to discuss too. But as far as with nutritional stuff, there's so many apps that you can do, that you can have. There's MyFitnessPal, there's Macros Plus, there's Avatar, which is the one that we use, but it's like, just track your food. Best thing you can do, best piece of advice of all time. You're going to go through a lot of bullshit with nutritional stuff because there's so much information out there. But the absolute best thing that you could do is just track your food. Even if it was for 3 months, it benefits people for a lifetime.
I've even had clients that just simply wrote it down in a journal.
Yeah, I've had that too. Yeah, I've had that too. But the most effective one,
doesn't work for you.
Yeah, is just finding out, oh shit, I'm consuming not enough food, or I'm consuming too much food. So yeah, that is, kind of what's been kicking around here and what we've been doing, here. And it's been hard. It's been really, really hard to, really hard to organize all of it because it is growing and it is, we do online training now, which has been great. And we've been, our semi-privates, like you said, they're evolving and kind of taking on a different thing, which is great. And then remember, we have our one-on-one clients that we see every day too. So that's, growing too. So, do you have anything to add before we close this out?
That's it. I think we pretty much covered everything.
Yeah. So, that's what's been going on. It's been crazy. I'm of course going to release more clips and more things for all of you, but really appreciate it. Thank you all so much. We have so many more episodes to come. We have this next wave of clients coming in with their own success stories and them. So we'll keep the spotlight on them. And thank you all so much for liking, subscribing, sharing. I really appreciate it. So we are out of here. Later.